But accident is not just as a result of road alone. There are so many other factors. The road is just one of them. But most importantly, how about the person who is driving this vehicle? How about the vehicle itself? How about other factors that are not in the control of the driver and not the road? You understand what I'm saying? These are factors that are not in the environment in which we are, and sometimes not you alone, but pedestrians, and you have other factors, animals on the road. So there are so many other factors when you're talking about accident themselves. You're talking about the road itself. You're talking about the vehicle and the driver. This is why for the area that we are interested, or our responsibility as far as policing is concerned, is two main factors. That is the traffic law and the traffic regulation. And we're talking about the driver, the competence of the driver, and also the vehicle clearance to ensure that whether this vehicle is fit enough to be on our road. Whether it's
roadworthy.
Exactly. Whether it's actually worthy for it to be on the road. And the police is responsible for this, in ensuring that. This is why we would want to ask drivers where are their insurances, where there are road tax, where there are so many things that would ensure that before you get your vehicle on the road, you have to satisfy all of that. But not just the papers, but even physically looking at the vehicle. This is why the police have the mandate and power to impound any vehicle at any point in time and take the vehicle for testing. Because when you look at the vehicle and realize that I don't think this vehicle, regardless of the fact that all the papers are good, but I don't think this vehicle is in a good shape to be able to be on our road. Because maybe at the time that they were giving the certification and everything, it was good. But with time, even within the year,
tear and wear,
anything can happen. Because for example, brakes and lights are very, very important. Brakes and lights are very important. And brakes are connected to lights because the driver who is driving is communicating to the other driver out there. So if the lightning system is not good, then you cannot communicate with the driver behind you. Then you would brake and he wouldn't know you are braking. You will be doing your turn, he wouldn't know you are, whether it's left or right. So these are all of things that we look at, looking at the vehicle itself. But more important than that is who is actually driving this vehicle. And I think that is very important. And that is to say the driver.
Thank you very much, Mr. Sisao. I think you said something very important. It's not about the road, it's about the people. So the facility given to them should be utilized in a very good way. Bala nini nyune driver dañ jay try them back way uti license, try back way danko doronga utal ma fi ben insurance, ñu def ko ci moto bi nga jappa yoon bi di dem. Légui some of them are children, truck drivers yoo xam ne da nga gis ne truck bi li moo rëy xale bu ndaw la toog si kaw truck bi, in fact irresponsible driving. The blame on this reckless driving ak accidents yi ñu dee am police yi leen di bàyyi la na driver yi ñoo dee di jël di opportunité loi bi dañ ko tegut seen kaw.
Thank you so much, Mr. Jallow. I think nit ñi lu ñoo wax soo am na fan na yëpp we cannot blame anyone this particular subject matter. It's a national problem.
National problem?
Yeah, because according to the last research, the 95% of accidents are human errors.
They are human errors?
Yes, we cannot call them accident. It can be predicted, can be prevented. So that means we cannot call them accident. That's why even globally, WHO didn't call it accident, now we call it road crash.
Road crash?
Yes.
Wow.
So I used to say this, most of the people on the road, they are not competent to drive a vehicle. They are driving, but in terms of the technical know-how, most of them are knowledge. So institutional failures mover, our attitude mover, and interference also is involved.
So no interference law mean?
But for example, today, as Omar Sise, president of the General Transport, I can call Sisa as a friend, please, give me some driving license. So I'm interfering.
Okay.
So, Sisa holds I'm not that close net. We are friends, we support. Second, the guy didn't pass through the procedures, whether it's qualified or not, whether they have medical condition, whether it's seeing or views, these are all important. So I think these are all challenge. Driver's license, to be honest, is an open secret. We all know how to get driver's license in this country. So I think it's important to go back to the drawing board and try to rectify that, permit people to drive a license. But most of the people, they can drive a vehicle on the road. But in terms of what we call highway code, road signs,
code de la route.
Code de la route. The road aspect, drive a vehicle, do get corner, that's one thing. But in terms of highway code, tell me the Whether signboards are there or not, they communicate. The vehicle dashboard is communicating. The road signs are communicating. The police is communicating. So if you don't know this, you don't know police, you don't know that road signs, end of the day, that's look at all these accidents. Most of
them driver hamuñ sa road signs luñ mean. In fact, hamuñ fan lañu set for road signs. Now, problem bobu la nek di laajte. Who is to be coach? Kan lañ wara jangal that law or that awareness pour make sure driver xam nañ lolu, because it's very important.
No, and I think this is very clear in our Motor Traffic Act. When to get the driver to have a procedures. It's clearly stated on the act. So soon follow that procedure, I think they're not prevail about it. But most of us are not following the procedures. The many governments are not following the procedures. So at the end of the day, that's cause, we can cause catastrophe. For example, she's a security officer today. So my information, you can look me as a police officer. Yes. But the thing I don't know as security, I don't know about. So you don't expect anything good from me.
Right.
So for me, anyone Gambia, so the guy gets traffic and motor, this guy is not qualified. Automatically, that's something or somewhere. So for me, it's not about the driver, but look at the safety aspect. Because today, Gambia, we all are road accident victims. Whether she's out, everybody here. I'm not going to accidents. I'm not involved. It's also property. So rifle you see, maybe your own. But people don't take this seriously. I didn't blame him. I blame the government himself, all of us, because we all contributed one way or the other.
Thank you very much, Omar Sise, a.k.a. Bala. Mr. George Jatta, coming from the National Roads Authority, you guys play a key and a fundamental role, not only to infrastructural development of this country. What are the measures that you're trying to incorporate within your road structures to ensure that these roads are safely being utilized, they have road safety signs? What are you trying to bring to at least get Gambians understand, come on, these roads are built for safety?
I would like to say that most of the roads that we built, they are engineered roads, if not all of them. And in these roads, we have the road signs. And like Omar was saying, the signs, they speak to you. You have an area whereby you are supposed to not to drive maybe beyond 50 kilometers per hour. You have areas where you have speed humps. You have areas where you have iris crossings. You have areas where you have animal crossings. At times you go into the provinces and once it starts getting dark, a lot of the time you hit either cows coming from their grazing field towards where they are kept or the other way around. Cows, donkeys and all of it. So the roads, they have the signs. We try to do as maximum as possible to have all the signs needed. But it's for the driver to be watchful and know that you are on the road. There are signs that are talking to you, saying this is what you should do around this, and you follow that, you will have less trouble or less accidents. Yeah, that aspect of it really, NRA is taking it seriously. And then I would also like to say that when the road is very new, it is smooth, people tend to overspeed as if they are catching a flight. And then these are the things that when you crash, like they say, you rush, you miss. So when you crash...
Mr. Jara, I'm looking at the angle you are taking. Yes, this road safety, but do you think NRA is doing enough awareness to sensitize, to educate, to inform road users of all these signs? Because sometimes when the law comes in and say an ignorance of the law is not an excuse.
Yes.
But still, I think people are mandated to know some of these things. The policeman will test if the person can drive, if the person can do few things, use of the car. But don't you think there should be some sort of an incorporation of efforts to ensure these people are enlightened?
I know for sure during the Barton Hardin phase 2 project, phase 1 and phase 2, we used to have TV shows in terms of road safety programs. But also, like my brother Omar was saying, if you want to be a driver, like you have to go to the driving school whereby you have all of these traffic signs being showed to you. People say here, it's open secret. But in the other countries, you go to driving schools, you have a written test before you have your practical test. So when you go for a written test, before you have your written test, you have been coached as to the traffic signs and some of the traffic laws that obtain in that country. So you do that, and then you pass the written test, then you go to a practical test. Then when you pass your practical, that's when you will be given a license. Somebody that has gone through that system will be able to know what these signs stand for. But we have schools here, but there are not many. Very, very few schools are here. But how many people do go to these schools? They think it's waste of money.
It's expensive.
Even if it's expensive, but the life that you save is much more expensive than going to these schools. So you go to these driving schools, you spend 1 month, 6 weeks or so, you do your theory as well as your practical. When you go on the road, you might not face things that somebody has not been to will face. You will know what each sign says to you.
Right.
I think that also we need to look at, and people have to try to be going to these schools and educate themselves.
Right.
Because it's the life that they save could be their own.
Now, thank you very much, Mr. Jata. Sisao, at what point are the police mandated to seize somebody's driver's license? Do they have that mandate? Because I have found out that sometimes on the road, amuloo right pour jël suma license, amuloo right pour jël suma insurance, amuloo right. Fii rek nga dégg Gambien bi mu ne la sooma laalee. Half the time doo ko fekkee. Now, are you ready to take steps like that, getting people to be educated theoretically before practical learning of doing driving, when most of the people driving these cars are not even elites?
No, I think we need to understand, like he mentioned something, both of them mentioned issues that are very, very important. And in the 21st century, these are the expectations. But you realize that there is no condition in the law telling us that for somebody to have a driver's license, you have to go through a school. What it says that you have to have the competence to drive. Now we have testing officers who will test you to determine whether you have competence.
But on what grounds?
Yes.
How do you test? Do you test whether they can rotate the steering wheel?
No.
Do you test because they can brake?
Okay.
What are you testing? And how qualified are those testers?
Yes, exactly. And this reminds me, just before the end of the year, around November, December, we had all our regional testing officers brought to the police garage, and also new officers who were also recruited to be part of this to more or less go through refresher training.
Oh, that's a good news.
Training, because we realized that there have been some issues concerned regarding issues that we're talking about, accidents and vehicles. Because how is it acceptable that a vehicle would travel from, I think, about Kafuta, and you remember almost last year about this, how many children were knocked down, about 4 or 5 of them died. That happened. And year before, it also happened around Jarume. You understand? The vehicle, no windscreen, no lighting system, no proper braking system, and all of that. You understand what I'm trying to say? Because what they would do is, what we realize is, we have checkpoints on the road, but they would wait until when the checkpoint are closed. You know, when the checkpoints are like they are closing, that's the time they start moving, so that at least they will not meet checkpoints on the road. And these are the cases in which some of these accidents would occur. But what we are trying to say is that it's important for our testing officers to the competence, because you can't test somebody if you equally are not competent enough to be able to determine whether this person is skillful and competent in this area. And this has been the system that has been in place ever since. And going forward, like he is suggesting, that individually we can take responsibilities. You understand what I'm trying to say? Because the life you are saving might be yours. You have your family, you have your kids, you are driving, going to school, or going to work, taking your children to school, and all of that. And so it's important that you actually have the competence. But how people have been learning here in the Gambia is apprenticeship. Apprenticeship is, you either have a truck driver. He talked about a truck, where a young boy will be driving a truck. A young boy of 12, 13, 14 will be driving a truck, because he's on apprenticeship with the truck driver, or the gele driver, or the, those kind of vehicles, or even pickups and all. This is how people learn to drive. So testing is, you need a driver's license, and the testing officer will test you, would sit you down. You are now the driver, and he is watching what you do. This is a vehicle, how do you start? He's not going to tell you anything.
Absolutely.
You are going to operate. And so whether you can drive this vehicle, and when you are driving the vehicle, how you begin and all of that, how you apply your brakes, how you're turning. But remember, somebody who is doing an exams, how he would drive, and somebody who is at his own leisure
are two different things.
How would drive are totally different. I can come for that exams and I would pass with colors. But it's not about qualification. I think it's about discipline, he talked about. It's about discipline. It's about respecting the rules on the road. NRA did very well, especially of recent. These new roads did very well. They're doing very well. The signpost and everything. But before you know it, people will come and cut it off.
Yes.
They cut it off and make it aluminium
They
boards.
cut off the road signs.
The road signs.
What does the law says when you are caught doing that?
Come on, that's a criminal act. That's a crime. If you are caught, but the problem is, how will you catch them in the first place? Because the Gambians, we know the Gambian system. You cannot hardly people report people because it's a nafiku. You understand? It's Carla Hajo Tinya wala tending. Hardly. We know criminals in our compounds. We don't report them. We know thieves. We don't report them. You know what I'm trying to say? So I think this is one thing that we need to talk about, and it has to be with attitudinal change. People are so much in a haste. Look at this roundabout. How can people hit each other at a roundabout? How is it possible? What are you doing?
When the rule says give traffic to the left.
Yes. There are instances I personally was from OIC going roundabout around the stadium, just around the stadium.
Hit.
A truck and a small car. The truck has to force this car until the car doesn't have a choice. I have to now run up on top. We found them there. You go to the Sting Corner. The same day, we recorded that and shared that. Yes. I was on my way going again. Going to Banyo the same day. We found a traffic officer at Sting Corner Junction. So there is a road that is going to Demban, right?
Yes.
Into Bakau.
Yes.
There's another road coming from
Kanifing
Stadium coming.
Yes.
So the driver now is coming against the traffic up to the time where he found the police officer there. So you know that this road is just one way. One vehicle is coming.
Yes.
If you don't take your time, you are not expecting any vehicle.
Yes.
You're not expecting any vehicle. What could that cause? That's a recipe for disaster, Fortunately, he found the police officer there, and the police officer stopped him. And we found them there talking. I'm like, I cannot imagine.
And he's arguing.
The excuse is, I am from Europe. I don't know this place. That's the excuse, ignorance.
In Europe, you don't do that.
I don't know. You don't know. But you've been seeing vehicle, you've been passing vehicle, others are going this way. You have not met any vehicle that was going there. Exactly. So this is what is happening. And I think for the young ones, what we would continue to do and what we would expect is, especially with the union. It's a union.
Yes.
And a union is the interest of their membership. And I think there should be an advocacy arm of the union. And I think the union should work towards this in ensuring that we know, because it's a union, you cannot force every driver to be a part of a union. You cannot say every driver who's in this country are under theirs. No, that's not the case. But our expectation is that at least 80% of the drivers in this country are under the same umbrella, and that they have mandate, as per their union, to be able to have at intervals training, workshops and advocacy across the country, so that people are on the same page, so that we can be able to help each other.
I think, Sisao, you've made salient points. But Bala, Len Amnafi, he said something important. Yakar nañ ne majority of the drivers should be part of your members. Yen last year rek amon ngeen controversy to a point that am na ñu ne sax ñom nekkuñ under you how do you manage ñu ne ñom they are not part of the general, they are not part, they just bring issues because some of them were trained to drive in the Gambia, some of them were trained to drive outside the Gambia, mostly Senegal. How do you manage this attitudinal problem? Driver dina def lu wrong ben tay ñu war ko yóbbu court mu yaakaar la ne yow nga def ko o ñu am issue boo xam ne the person need to really face the full force of the law mu ne suñ président bi taxawalut ma. So they expect you to do what? How do you manage these attitudes? Because every day there's a problem between traffic and traffic officers.
Thank you so much. Comme noo ko waxee rek, it's very difficult sector, and also dañ bari
ngi indil ñu problème si border bi just last year.
dañ bari what we used to call in our traditional language magawar. You know magawar?
Yes.
Magawar.
Magawar.
Wow. We have many people in our sector, they call magawar. So maybe if you pass through the apprenticeship, at least that will need to be, you can able to control that guy easily. But somebody from nowhere, sector sometimes it's difficult for us. And also, today, we as a union, over 80% of drivers are under our supervision. They are a member of the union. And also, we have been controlling all these temporary garages across the country.
Official or temporary garages?
No, you know.
am na garage yoo xam ne yàlla xam na waruñ faa nekk.
Waaw, moo
right
tax-
now they can even sit down and tey fii la ñu def garage.
that is why.
Now the Wellingara Nema Junction, they choose to make it either a keke or a taxi. You don't understand.
So more than now, as a union, we try to engage them, who look at the environment they are, and try to register with them so that they can be fully organized within that area they are. And also remember, past 2-3 months ago, the union and the government signed a MOU, a memorandum of understanding,
What is
to
that
oversee
MOU?
all the garages within the country. So this is another responsibilities. Now, currently, we are working with the police also, try to work together with the authorities, try to bring the disciplinary measures in the transport sector. Because as you said, you see somebody at the garage, somebody couldn't ever understand. Yeah, but because of lack of the proper regulation, but through the consultation with the three parties, we are able to bring something that will actually become implementable. End of the day, the general public will benefit from it. But it's difficult, but we are doing our utmost best with the collaboration with the government and police to try to bring the measures within the transport sector. Because garage is an issue, but we want to create some of area as a recommended garage, so we can bring the coordination and the management system that will govern each and everywhere. Whether you are part of a union, that's not our problem. Our problem is that you need to obey the Public Order Act, or you call it Public Order Regulation. Be anywhere you want to be. But in terms of operation, that is controlled by the government. So we understand this, because today we are all victim of this. My children, my families go to market, go to schools. They face the same challenges daily basis. So as a parents, I want to bring something, I want to be benefit for general public. And to be honest, we face it, you understand the challenge. That's why we feel as an advocacy group, you represent something in law, it's at least defendable. It's defendable. But call them, how can you defend the guy? You know, we didn't live on the vehicle, we don't own the driver. You represent them based on the facts and the reality and the rule of the law. So some of the area, if we feel this is not good, we can relate with the authority, negotiate and try to bring something who is good for general public. But we understand that gaps. As a union, we cannot work isolation, we cannot work alone. That is why we approach authorities to discuss with them, to bring our opinions together, our community together, to bring something for the government people. I think already with the ministry, we are there. Police also, we don't have formal, but we are there because we are working together in awareness campaign. Some operation we do it together. We give the information as far as the operation is concerned. So we want to work together as a government, as a national institution, to work together to make sure that to have better, because that's what is a challenge in this country. The way it's operated, we don't like it. But police are going to do it.
I was just going to ask you before I come to George, because I have a very important question for you, George, before I get there. What happens to GTSC, the officially controlled transport system? Are they still subjected to your scrutiny or supervision?
No, if you say the official control of transport system, I don't understand the law very well.
Yeah, for example, we've got tourist taxis. We've got GTSC, for example. We've also got other people now who are ready to control a fleet by 4, 5, 6 vans. They officially come and register as a company, and they provide. We have other companies, I don't want to name, because some of them, it will be like an advertisement for them. Okay, people use it for rental. They come and rent cars and do all these things. Now, the question I'm having is, do you work with them or not?
Yes, we are working with the GTSC, as you said. GTSC is a public transport company, but it's different with the GPTC. The most of people don't understand the way they operate. GTSC is a profit-making organization. They're looking for profit. And we all know urban transport anywhere in this world, it don't have much profit. So that's why most of the companies are looking for government subsidies. So that's why GTSC is not fully operating in Greater Banjul area, because it's full of losses.
Okay.
So now, what the GTU is, you are okay, because the operators are the GTSC, they are member of the GTU. But what the GTU can do to try to engage the companies or the partners to bring on board and try to create a conducive environment for investments. Remember today, this morning, I have been with the Ministry of Higher Education in terms of transparency of students at the University of the Gambia, because they have these challenges. So we will work with them to try to create a conducive environment and try to convince our members to venture into this sector, to try to make transport easy for all of us. But it's a challenge. Urban transport is a challenge anywhere. But what we need is a lot of investments, and also traffic congestion also count a lot. But in terms of safety aspect, the most importantly, as I agree with PRO, is about discipline. Sometimes the attitude is a problem in this country. It's everywhere, whether for commercial or private. But in terms of young people driving a vehicle, for me, this is my argument. According to the laws of this country, you cannot drive a commercial vehicle less than 21 years old. Am I right? Above 21, you are not a child. That is an adult person.
Right.
And number two, you cannot, even you are teaching somebody, you cannot teach somebody in the dangerous areas, residential area. That is against the laws. So these are things we want to work with the police and make sure we can speak the same language so that their implementation and also we can have a ordinary transport system in this country.
Thank you very much, Bala. We're reminding our viewers that they are actually watching Teledal, and this is the Fix Show. Friday evening that we have here, we talk about issues of national development and come up with solutions. Today in the studio, we've got Mamadou Musa Sisao of the Gambia Police Force, of course, the Public Relations Officer, Omar Cisse, well known as Bala, the President of the General Transport Union of the Gambia. No, small p. We only have one president with a capital P, and his name is Adam Barrow.
This is a long story.
We only have one president with a capital P, and that is Adam Barrow. And then we have, of course, George Jatta. George, there are instances we've seen people wanting to do. In those days, we used to have events called fural. Now we will have weddings on a street. Now we have people even dumping their stones and gravels and sand on junctions and making sure they're using it for construction. And we've also realized that NRA goes and impound cars that are blocking highways, especially on this highway. There was a day I was within the vicinity, and then I found out somebody was making so much noise because he had blocked the road and they towed the car to the NRA. So are you willing to do all that in collaboration with the Gambia Police Force to create not only safety, but avoid blockage in tributary roads, especially these roads that are within the communities? They will just block it. Today we have a naming ceremony, they block it. When sometimes they need a permit, but even that permit sometimes is not reasonable. You cannot just come to Willingara Junction and give them a permit to have a program there because you are blocking all three roads. So they will tell you where to put it, and at the end they'll go and do it somewhere else. So what is NRA trying to do to enable us allay those fears where people can't just come and obstruct?
No, for in terms of people using the road to have their programs, normally, as I understand, you get to the police and request for a permit. The permit is given to the police. But for you to have some construction material blocking access, it's against the laws. And this, you could be charged for that. No. At times, what we do is we try to get some equipment and make sure, let's say, kind of grader or so, and we push, let's say, sand or stones, push it to the side so that the road becomes accessible. And at times, what you're supposed to do is we have to charge you, it has to be done at your own cost. People are not supposed to come and park materials on the carriageway where traffic is supposed to pass. That's against the law. We should not supposed to.
Your managing director was with me. I'm telling you, this guy just came and dumped sand on the road.
I understand.
All he did was, where is the guy that dumped this here? Can you find a way of at least parking it closer to stop, not to stop traffic? Yes. He got no answer. Nobody will even come and say it's ours. And it's on somebody's gate, huh?
No one will take responsibility. That's why what we do, we get an equipment, come and spread it off the road. If it's spoiled, it's your business. But what we do is bring a motor grader, for example, and get the...
and just level it.
No, we not level it. You just get the material pushed to one side so that the road becomes accessible.
Okay. Okay.
You are doing it at your own cost and you could be charged for that. It's against the laws. You cannot just come and bring, even if you bring it at your gate, it should not take 24 hours for you to remove it and put it inside your compound because you are obstructing traffic.
Are you looking at trying to collaborate with police? Because eventually somebody will come out with a stick and start fighting.
We have to collaborate with the police. That the police also knows that it's against the laws. And the issue of us towing vehicles on this Baltic-Harding highway, prior to us towing the vehicles, a notice was sent. Probably notice was sent saying that you don't have to park your vehicle and leave it for a certain number of, I can't remember how many hours it is, but you cannot just come and park your vehicle on the carriageway. If it is broken down, you have to try to be as fast as possible, get somebody to tow you, and you get it off the road. But you leave it there for some time, there's a tow truck that will come, tow it, and take it to the
And how much do you pay when
and
you
pay $3,000.
Okay, only?
Yes.
Bala can pay that.
That's what
you understand.
For now, and we intend to expand
to
nationwide. We started with Baltic-Harding, but gradually it will expand with the collaboration of other stakeholders. That's what we have to do.
Well, I thank you very much. We are just being, of course, going more and more into this program. And gentlemen, we just been told also that the program is now officially being sponsored by AfriCell, and to, of course, make sure our viewers are, hear what we say, things that we do here. And this is the fix, and we're talking about solutions. And we will go for a short break, and we will be right back after this break. And like I said, soon others will want to go and break there fast.
Scan the QR code and register on My AfriCell app, and boom, you get 1 GB free instantly. Just scan, download, register, and enjoy. Check your balance, browse bundles, send and receive money instantly, pay bills in seconds, anytime, anywhere.
Thank you very much to all our viewers and people that are following us on our social media handles, which is Facebook and Twitter. Mr. Sissaho, last year, we've got people that have actually taken the streets in the name of protesting, in the name of riot, in the name of being unsatisfied. At some point, they block traffic. At some point, they even create commotion within the road and becomes a nuisance. Now, this year is an election year. And we look forward to seeing a lot of movement with the use of our roads. And this is the year we'll do a lot of campaign, what is police plan in trying to make sure there's a crowd control mechanism to allay some of the things that happen in 2025, not for it to happen in 2026, knowing very well that it's a very sensitive year for us as Gambians this year.
Thank you very much. I think we need not to worry much. Firstly, I think the politicians usually are given a duration and it's a timetable, a schedule as to where and when their supporters or jubilants or whatsoever would be done. And mostly this is done in consultation or in collaboration with the Gambia Police Force, like the way we did it the last time, where all parties were given security from the Gambia Police Force. All parties were given, which means that wherever they are going with members of the Gambia Police Force. So we are expecting that we might not have some of those issues having, but yes, naturally you would have individuals. Mainly, we do know, mostly they are not, some of these things would not actually happen where parties are really having their issues, but maybe at homes, maybe at the junctions when people are arguing over political issues, then altercations would come up and things would happen. But I think to reassure you more, you've just witnessed the passing out of more than 1,000 police officers.
Congratulations.
For the Gambia Police Force. And we are not stopping there. We are recruiting, as I speak, we are doing our selection and recruitment process. Hopefully, immediately after the Ramadan, we'll start a training of no less than 500, additional 500. And all of this thing is towards ensuring that we have the capacity in terms of human resources to be able to be there to provide the service. And these people are trained on what you call public order management, to how to work with people within an environment where people are out there trying to, enjoy themselves or try to do
and
whatever.
we're having additional 1,500 police officers that are going to join the current police force to actually build the capacity.
We had about 1,003 and another more than 500 who would actually start training, and all of this is towards that. And I think this very one, what informs that is the coming of election, just to ensure that usually what we call the election badge.
The election badge. Thank you very much, Sissaho. Bala, when campaign is coming, politicians go look for gele-geles, about 100 gele-geles. Send me 50 gele-gele. Whoever drive it is not important to them. Whoever is in that gele-gele, in fact, is not important. They want the crowd. They want the number. But these are the times. About a few months ago, there was a particular political party having an event, and one of the vans coming from Soma had an issue. We heard about this. What control measure do you guys want to put in place to allay the fears of the community, the people that are going to these programs? Politics is something, when it gets into your system, especially during these fairs of campaign, young people are hype. They will beat that car, they will beat that drum, they will dance, they will make noise, they will go through the windows, they'll be on the roof. Police can't even stop them because they don't even listen. What do you want to do as a union? Because that's key. At the end of the day, when something happens, they'll say, of course, the transport union is not organized.
I think, as you said, 2026 is a very busy year for all of us, particularly security officers. But in our plan, we are engaging our regional chairmen because we experienced previous years. And sometimes, even police want to stop them, the party military will come, you want to sabotage us.
It's because we are not your party.
We are not your party. If for it to be a opposition, they will say, government send them. If it's the government, they say, no, this guy is opposition. Sometimes it's very difficult security to control the crowd. But what we want to do is to learn from previous experience, to engage with our region and to drivers. Any accident, driver will be responsible. Whether people are dancing or they are in a celebration or political rally, you are responsible at the start at that time. And also we are planning to discuss with I think they have a technical committee from the old political parties. Yes, I don't know what is the name of the technical committee. We are planning to discuss with them and try to inform about the safety.
The inter-party committee?
Something like that, yes. To engage them to discuss about the safety of their voters. I think that is very important for parties. And also, political parties can use their platform and inform their members in terms of their safety coming to the rallies or going back. But we are working on this. But I think we can already do it alone. We can do it through the government police force to our collaboration because they are the expert of the road safety activities. We are operator, but they have more technical know-how about the safety measures. So through that collaboration, we can be able to engage in terms of safety and what is the number of the particular vehicle, and terms of the vehicle conditions and the speeds. Because the number is not one, is not two. Any political cycle, we receive more accident.
Yes.
And vehicle drivers will usually passenger, the voters will live inside the vehicle, they go and be in top. Sometimes vehicle can be lose control anytime. So what most important about the public awareness and assume our responsibility as the authorities. Not only the police, but even the political parties, they have responsibilities. Because you are looking for more people to vote for you. But if accident occurs, whether they are going to vote or not. So I think each and every one need to do that. But for us, what we need to do to inform our members what is their safety and their future operational challenges. Because if accident occurs, they will go and leave you there and police will deal with you according to the laws. The end of the day, come to be a victim of the progressive matters.
I just want to add something, and I think I would want to say this in Mandinka. Mohammed, ngamira akumata bakele pour mol ka yaje loi nyaje mu ya lande jan sababolem pour mol be kanyang annun kaje ko mol be tanen silola. And I think a few weeks ago at Westfield, nkabo Westfield le Serekunda station mina ka Westfield. Johnson police obe lorin Johnson aka traffic control. I saw a gele maybe between two career lembang. You moto fandi tep santo. Fortunately for me, police enter follow so enter follow so kana so mfuta ramadan kay ko nyimoto membe koma a koma jono to lotal mano ka mo people la me dan ko ne ngomo mbe lo afa silobula so ndaran loku da silobula ka silobula ngo driver ngo fa ngoy moto yele ko di so I ntanga screenshot nga video woludula ngay ko mfele ngata mobile traffic I escort, let's go to mobile traffic. Fortunately, ntara mobile traffic nga king fango taraye but nga king fango taraye. So I went to the station nga gal report ko ñin ñi neketa yala iko kata football la sport ngo ko football me kata football wol ni loi ma ñoso fenna ba kata football doesn't mean ko ite ma ñana loi normal do kata football la so you can be do kata sirin palantero kan do be santo do be langarin ko and all of that e kam do fango je sirin neten kala man tankala mun en haklo blando kabe nyaboyta ka nga report so no from Basse URR football final le be kiri
mo be bina fal
ika mo fula fa saba fada they died. I wrote that report after the final be say kanne jubilation be kiri ngalong and all of that did a father so kabinda nga haklo blata wala and it's my responsibility as a police officer
tonya
yeah faham so nga mo stop wala nyama ngeen sama back to mobile traffic. So iko football them for inter school them bank krip karap ngoko I don't have any issue, we are not charging you. What we say is men nyanta kala alo kedoro moli dunk moto kono alkana moto overload al moto fula sang moto fula haya moto saba haya membe moto sambanola but because it's the sport football so luwati je fereng and that brings us to akamem foteng because it's okay, it's politics yeah fam but ila indio nga wala kumata de Yeah, family. In your kumada. So it's important that whichever activity memenke kan does not exclude kuluwata nyim banko kan.
Right.
Kafoko ha nyine be kirin wala tin nyine be kirin wala tin hani football jubilation ni final o keta jang iko Senegal le win ta wolu nyim Gambia banko.
Kana na kaw Johnson lebe je ma xamul.
You understand what I'm trying to say? Mole amira ko to jubilate is to drive dangerously. To jubilate is to dismantle and destroy whatever is happening. So ñimu kuti mi alon ko mol si hakilo tuje baga e kuma do fo je be demandi mba jan salam menna operation clear de ton tol benu jele with NRA
ha
yeah stakeholders ha but ñimu kulete me alon ko akante jaha hani bi just e de nena drabo bitaka ngam motar la corda almost 5 to 10 meters after la corda ay sing foundation o sinje ay wulindi aba concrete kan na fa corda bunda da ngaja fen ko lekiji dinka ba lekiji. This might be a very respected person because when I called his attention, so what I'm trying to say is into public space. So outside that, there is nothing you can do. If it is for beautification, you have to get clearance to do that from physical planning. You have to get that. Whatever you are doing on public road, you have to get clearance. Construction is so normal. Anybody can just come and pour anything at anywhere. For Berolembang, for Kenyolembang, and Mola Hajiji. I think I now low kundo. Neither I know kundo. Kafa Komuna Ninjang, as if like I fisi informatory, I come to Nyongo. I fisi informatory, come to Nyongo. But ni one thing, come to Dankunda, you have to get down. Near Dankubalia sort of a Mandala Bente. So you all better discipline them. Mbeddo manim folaje ni wating nali akalamutam be operation man for time will be jele ba we have time okay then be bula ni ka chafra auto bay di but no
but han ka bi ni hakilo masala sa ne be la ngata kar ni kala kudol
ate discipline kilingolem mune atin na molbe moto sanna e number plate moto ya jole number plate dila ikira number plate tay ka wutu moto bala fukko manem fo nyaata lambang e ka pak moto kono de no plate tara moto mol ka tara night patrol nga tara around 2 am what time molen ka checkpoint to londe for example because nga expect ko mol men bina wo time o asike ya ikatara haji dolla mo koronto de wala ha so nga mo tol londi ikaje ko number plate inata men ke say ko nyaato tay ko tu jelde ko mo tay ko le bon
because na ko modi e ko wala ta
ya fam nka jahale say ila number plate ako nya fele jang ka fo mo nekata ako nya jolondale wa ben nyaato mo jolonde même ko mo jolonda that is one thing this is why an niya jube dol bi je wol ko nga jole bari ndara police le o iko number plate manna andunga announcement ol kele ko number plate funtitale ya fahamle kabi number plate funta anunga telephone number fana dile pour number plate bari men ka ke kaje mo kana signa kri nanata ika ko lun karne number plate kama nanata atara ko wolu number plate mon soto utina ko tenke
ate fe police ol kama soto
it at now so at wo mo ko police ko ma soto and the same thing for license foye mari mutal fa ata wala tan mo ka fa kabring ale wato men ta ka yitande mo ko number plate soto la ani wato men ani operation ke asuti yatale ngoko sutiyati jede because Gambia dalta kula mi an ko ni mam muda tamoto jang ajang ate buka som mumeke so wala atina operation ni nata bara man da wala hani operation ko no fanan 2025 road tax motol bi jemini an ko borka ni banko kan iman namo jo andu wona mo wala kan to la salary jo wona mo ka singol ka silo da wolle la wona mo ka borol sang wolle ka hospital e koku ka kanyim banko kan development namo men ka kafun ne ma fo 2026 de ko 2025 ha
banda
ya fa ina ko tenge tinted ay ñul mo kuleti tinted nte malo munem de nto ngama service ku ndang kul don la tak tinted la war Gambia no fango jaato la tinted
ya
angone ne mo do sandi force ke mi men na fa janni no bapul de ke mi la tinted la momo ni moto ndim moto ba official non official han taxil fan ka tinted kele sa taxil fan ka tinted ikaje la elo palanteri ningol
ya be tinted
eko palanteri ningol tinted
dashboard hafo
e nyaato be tinted nyaato sutura e nyaato be tinted anu luwal be nyim banko ka luwal men fo wolam ko molle bi jimen ya lon ko ila do ko Kenya wala la palaso ila makamo Kenya ye silo di wolle la wol ka tinted wala mo ka tin comme secretarial government officer kata santo ba ni ita way dumala momon ni menyanta ka tint nyanta ka clearance sodo wolam ko e nyanta ka kango sodo police bulu kaje ko itede e silo di la pour ka atin ba yalla mun ka mun mol ke mo do tint le foka pare o tay mole kana clearance ni pour ka tin sodo sa woni no dum Gambia no la vision ala hajo woni no dum wala ka ko wala ka ko tangi foni yemu talungo men
mage jode but nka je sama e ka moto nyaro windscreen e ka tinde ko fa je say
me wala foke dem ko ka be fa timde abe not half time ko tan
ndala mo le fa ko mo be kon ka film
no mama
hani lampo malte bu ka je bak
it's not
this is how do you intend drifting kaw control nyim bango dinngol africell et tiri yak ye ngoro efe
bari ngam tin
fo ni garo fulalti
Ha.
albo control la nyamen ani moto me ya kodi ni o number plate ota danko doron call lomba ni number ni moto men tambeta ni number plate wala alamata bam fo you have a system in place na o number inject albo moto ni na mario la detail be sortal kar US wala ke je banko do be ke
ha ada keno la fat dal kam ne fat ya dina science nga fat ha as keno every vehicle is number. This is why it is important for moto number plate tarabala kato number plate wala moto toti moto fango jato tomo ni ko Benz for example Benz jelle bijang C class jelle bijang Toyota Hilux jelle bijang bari sa ni number member bala wala mo specific identification di comme ni te ko ya Mod Musa to Mod Musa ni ko Mod Musa juma police PRO yalla wo senator non de la number plate sande Mod Musa police PRO non de la number plate ital number plate mu ne di Mohamed Diallo tele dal wala number plate ha bari sa ni moto mem man to soto number plate tawla ko dani ko Hilux Toyota Hilux wala tamire ko ma he ko ñu no be yalla ko la
sambe nan sambe
ko la ya fahamle so we have those systems ni nata drifting na fannala drifting akata baki ji police kunda akata baki ji anu watam bidan ning the judiciary fango alhamdulillah yem dankum bake but ngamira na alfal.
So I'll just use the opportunity yella exit intro tab and yella kumo kufasi nyakile then I will go to Bala and kumo nyimbe diaka na be make nyame akumaka wala nyama and it's becoming very interesting and this is what the Gambian life is all about.
Bani Bala bijan jandingata because men suda science and salolem and marse to tasitale salibayol kata sopinna and all of that pasol ayala mol dani pasu kuntung pasi lafa paso buka lafa foni salo sita foni hajo be molla mol be alon ko hajo le sita sai o time mole paso kalafa paso be mu 25 di ay kes $50 wala 75 walla ya kuntung ngamrante bole kala sabanyang be mem fala wala ka mol hakiri bulande di ningol mel yalon ko kata salibol la kara sken dañ si sot la ko teng di ningol mel kata salibol ni be di ningol bula yeni mo bula me yalon ko a mentale hakilo ya fatifa kadang kami sudah jama dindim filo saya dindim filo besiarin saya koni salosita
right
kuti me yalon bari mol fana kan la bundal fana sorong iko kada na filo la mota korda kono moy na la bungol bunda kati ala fa mo fofu moy hani arrebe suula fa ngol be na filo fo moy tarje me yalon ko atabe tarje pour ka hakilo ka donc be ngalon siratul kila ali wassalatu wassalam ala kele do bije dol be salola dol be garde la ni wol payta dol fana dol fu so abe wala nyama mo be danela ando be mafla mobe ko korite kodi ka fo nga id mubarak saldima inshallah hopefully me kontel kany kacha sifa soto jam inshallah
thank you very much Bala on your exit I am for akumatale drive wol buka paso la fa wasal o yesi kudoli yesi du say yemen start hani banjul silo fay ka fay lembe dana iceman ya fatona ya fay no dana ci town ne ya fatona ci town ya fay mbedana tabokoto le brigam so ka fay le farato if Brikama pass if the farate na fa Brikama
thank you so much comme nu ko waye rek dina liggéey with police ñu ngi liggéey ak ñom gëna ñu ñaan liggéey bi ñu make sure ne dema ñom la yomba dama day wax waxtu bu nekk rek alal neena but seetaan la tamit di short period kenn mënu fi nekk millionnaire mënu loo fi am loo musta am yaakaar naa si wéer bu mu nekk mooy da Christian o julli wéri ut tiyaaba la so fu nga nekk foog nga mën a tiyaab ut tiyaaba so na nga ko yombal ñu ànda ko dal xam na ne julli 1 day 2 days la mujjee ñu continue our normal life so ñun lu ñu defoon daaw through police blessing dinañ ko def liggéey ak ñoom dem si garage yi coordinate make sure ne daal askan ñu na am jàmm and also di ñaax suma garage committees yi julli su amee ku nekk jël feeraam si kër gi ñëw bëgg a ut ko par ndawal moto bu baaxut please oto bu baaxut na nga ko bàyyi si biir kër gi oto bu baaxut su fekkee moto bi yaa na comfortable bul ko nag mu eb sa garage aka sam la nit ñi suñu dem benn moto ni ñu bari nit ñi ñoo bëgg a dem ne du ñoo bëgg a seetlu yeneen véhicule majors yi bari yoo xam nga ne moto bii bi ko chef de garage xam ne moto yi daw si garage yëpp moto boo xam ne fii loo is not comfortable am nga dat mandate am nga dat autorité du fi daw lu yow moto bi baaxut soo ko indee police oo si union bi dina ko moto du daw ba su ñëwee moto bi manqué na rek ku nekk dem jël ferraille si kër gi ndax fil na ne mën na si am ko ba end of the mën naa indi jaayee at the final note is public tamit buñ bàyyi ba last minute ku nekk bëgg a tukki jël sa doom yi sa bagage yi sa baag yi dem si garage bi dafay indi jaayee yu bari because am na ñoo xam ne tukkiwuñ lu ñoo lifin nañu ut soo xam ne di nga travel na ko dee plan man dama war dem Basse man dama war a liggéey ba Thursday Friday ma dem Basse please mu Tuesday Wednesday ma release man njaboot ñoo ñu dem ñu njëkk a dem at school are coming to close jël leen bàyyi yow kenn malaa si sa kese su mu gën a Basse dina dem Basse ba nga ànda sa jabar ànda sa doom ànda kii ànda sa baag end of the day dafay jafe loolu mooy indi some of the issues end of the day mu bari soo bal dinañ continuer liggéey bi di public ñun nañ continuer di waxtaan askan bi ñu ngi dis ko bi police last year def nañ ko at least gis na impact bi nu inshallah dinañ continuer liggéey ak ñoom make sure ne askan bi ñu mën a am julli bu ne ak julli bu mu ànd amut jay inshallah.
Thank you very much, Omar Cisse. George, si sa mujjanteli kaddu, I mean, we would like to hear you. Parce que dégg nañ 2 days ago, minister bi mu ne xëy na very soon dinañ am electric bus. Xaw ma rampla, xaw ma dinañ am train. Gis nañ ne dinañ ubbi yoon boo xam ne dina dem ba block xëy na loolu trafic dina wàññeeku. Maybe just yokkal ñu tuuti rek si sa tënki waxtaan, you just in your conclusive remark, what are the new plans that the NRA is going to bring, at least to decongest, and the plans that we have right now to take a car going towards from Westfield to Tabokoto? It's a nightmare. Yundum, don't try it. You'll be there until the next 2-3 hours. So I don't know what your plans are. I mean, we do thank you for coming to this show. We appreciate each and every one of you. The show is proudly sponsored by Africell, and we are really grateful for their support for this event. And we would like to actually give you that opportunity and at least make a conclusive remark. And thank you for coming to The Fix Show this week.
It's a pleasure. I would like to say that in terms of decongesting the urban settlement, key amongst the projects in the pipeline, it's having to do a road from Stinkona all the way to Mandinaba. It's going to start from Stinkona and it will end up in Mandinaba, but it will have some exits and entries. We also are on studies to expand from Yundum to Block to make it dual carriageway.
From Yundum, where the dual carriage ends?
Where it ends, it's going up to Block. Those are also parts of the things that we are doing. We are also on feasibility studies nationwide of over 1,000 kilometers. When I say nationwide, I mean the urban and the rural areas. The team is out there doing the studies. We have completed the studies in CRR and URR. We'll move into LRR and the remaining regions. So for this year, we have these things that are in plan. And also we have done some roads that you could see have really helped. The roads in the OIC 50-kilometer urban roads, the ones that we pick up from Ghana Town all the way to Sukuta, from Kadikadi and coming to Sukuta. All those roads, they are internal, but you will agree with me that they help decongest traffic.
Correct.
From Joshuang also, you can come from Banjul, you come up to Joshuang by the cemetery. You branch off left. Before you know, you see yourself in Talinding. Because you go inside of New Joshuang, and then to Talinding, Farokono, and then off you are to Abuko, and then that's it. We also have some other roads that are also being constructed. Very soon we will inaugurate them. Roads that are done under the EPC in the urban area as well as in the rural area. So the congestion is happening. It might not be very fast as people want it, but we just want to say that let people be a bit patient. Most of this decongestion will soon be of the past. And for that, I'll say thank you so much.
Thank you very much, George Jata, Omar Cisse, and Mamadou Musa Sissaho for coming to The Fix Show this week at Teledal. Proud sponsors of the programs are Africell, and we do thank everybody that was following us on our social media handles. And then, of course, we look forward to having many of these such conversations for the nation and fixing issues of our daily needs that we really want to make sure the country move forward. I am your host, Mohamed Jallo, and we do wish to pray for everyone for a blessed Eid al-Fitr. Thank you very much.
Every time you buy credit or data, that's a speed and win waiting on your My Africell app. 50 megabytes, 100 megabytes, 5 gigabytes of internet data. Tanga. Credit or data purchases, speed and win rec. Africell and AfriMoney, where loyalty pays and the fun never fades.